Hey friends, it's John. You're on the JRB Tree Climbing channel. This is an arborist throwball, and here are several different types of throw line. Let's talk about the different ways that we can attach one to the other. I'd like not to do this demonstration too many times, so suffice it to say that different types of throw line have different properties. Down here I've got some Dyneema Orange Oasis. Be aware that as soon as you try to put a flame on the end of something like this, it'll ball up so quickly you can't swab it off. This is Notch Aculine, also Dyneema. These two bottom ones are both Dyneema. And so when I'm working with Dyneema, which is not actually my favorite, I'll just let that fray on the end. Here I've got a really old piece of throw line, and you could see the kind of memory. I had something tied there. You can see the memory that it causes. And this is some brand new throw line. I got this, it's Notch 3mm Neon Plus, and I'm really liking this line. It seems to be rather tangle resistant as it bunches up on the ground or in your flecking bag or anything else, and it really seems to behave real well. So I'll do the bulk of the demonstration on this. The first and most basic method that a lot of folks use, but I'm not going to actually recommend, is a cow hitch. We form a cow hitch. I've got about 6 inches of working end. We form a cow hitch simply by passing that loop through the ball and then the ball through the loop. And the advantage of a cow hitch, according to some, is that if you get your ball caught in a tree crotch, it's such a weak hitch that you can pull it out. But the ability to do so really does vary. And I've got the perfect crotch here to demonstrate it. Here on this crotch with this throw line, guess what? I can pull on that and pull on that, and it really takes a lot to get that undone. And if there's any kind of a ball on the end, you might not get it done. It's fairly unreliable, and there's no guarantee that the throw ball won't get caught in the tree crotch. And it's got very different properties if we're working with different materials. So here's the Dyneema. The Dyneema is much more slippery. And so if we tie this with the Dyneema and get it caught in a tree, now it comes out, but way too easily. And so I don't recommend the cow hitch for that reason. If it works for you or you want to use it in special circumstances, you go for it. The next method is probably the most popular method, and so I'm not going to tell you not to do it, and that is a girth hitch formed with a secure end loop. So I'll take my throw line and I'll measure about a hand span, and I'm going to form a bow line, I think, or a bowline, however you want to pronounce it. I think everyone knows how to create a basic bowline, and for me that size is about perfect because it leaves a loop which is just big enough for me to pass a throw ball through it. And to attach it, we form a girth hitch by putting the loop through the ring and around the ball. A girth hitch and a cow hitch, as you're aware from my prior videos, a girth hitch always evenly loads 2 strands, and that makes this right here a girth hitch. The very same formation a moment ago was a cow hitch because it was only putting load on one side. Now this is a fair way to use a throw ball. It's just that you have to recognize there's a slightly higher risk that it will get stuck. It happened to me. I used it for a couple of years, and then within 1 week I got it stuck twice, because when the ball is in free flight, this loop could open a bit and it could cause something to get caught on it. And so once that happened to me a couple times, I had to find a better way. So I'm not telling you not to use this. It doesn't take long to put this on and off. This is a great way to get started, but it's not my preference. Anytime we use a knot to attach a line to an object, that type of knot is a hitch. And if you look at all of the different ring hitches in Ashley's Book of Knots and some of the other popular ones and summarize them all, and I've tested so many in preparation for this video, my recent video on the halter hitch is my preferred hitch for tying a line to a ring for a throw ball. And so as per that video, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit and I'm going to tie the halter hitch. We take the line and we put it through the loop, and you can push it down through or up under the bottom. I find it more natural to pull it up this way. And what I'll usually do is hang the ball from my pinky, because there's never a table handy when we're out in the woods or ready to climb a tree. And now, with the working end, I touch the standing part and I go around 360 degrees until it touches itself. And then pass a bite through the loop. See that? And now if I draw this tight, that is a running single overhand noose knot, better known as the halter hitch, the hitch that's used to tie a horse to a horizontal rail. See my prior video. But this is a great way to attach a throw ball. We optionally can lock it by taking the working end and putting it through this loop. But it's handy because if we want to take our ball off after each throw, it's simply a matter of pulling on the tag end and it comes off. Let's tie it one more time. This time, instead of pulling it up through, I'll push it down. It's the same thing. I'd like to hang it from my, and I'll make this one a little bit bigger. Take the end, go around the standing part till it touches itself. And then bring a bite up and through that loop. If I want to lock it, I'll make the loop really nice and small. And now this could stay on there indefinitely. It could stay on there indefinitely. And when you need to take it off, simply break that loop and release it. Over the years, I became a fan of using a small stainless steel quick link. This happens to be one that is 1/8 inch diameter. Just got it at a hardware store. Here's its cousin, the 3/16 inch variant. But it's stainless steel. I'll put a link to these on my website, but you can find these at your local hardware store. I prefer to use stainless steel just because they're very strong and they're never going to rust. And I can use the very same technique by putting a halter hitch on this ring. This gives me some options. So let's tie the halter hitch there. So I'm going to lock this. And then I'm going to attach my throw ball. Attach my throw ball to it. I can open and close this screw link in about the same amount of time that I can tie a halter hitch. And what I like about this is that, you know, I'm often working in low light conditions. I often have gloves on, and there's always something on the end. I will put one of these screw links on either side of my throw line so that I can alternate it. Remember, as a hunter, I'm not carrying 200 feet of throw line. I might only be carrying 60 or 70 feet. And I can easily switch the bag between sides. And on the side that I have in my hand, I'll typically have a stainless steel snap link, and I'll have my finger on that. So when I'm throwing with my right hand, I'll hold this in my left hand and toss my ball up into the tree. So there you have it. We've got several options, but my favorite is the combination use of a stainless steel screw link and the halter hitch. Another thing I learned the hard way is not to use a snap link, because I have gotten these caught up in the tree. They can get caught on a branch. So any of those methods is fine, but again, this is my preference, and I'll tie it for you one more time. There are going to be some situations that come up really occasionally where you get a throw ball in a tree, and not only will it not come through the tree, but any kind of knot whatsoever. So this is ready to go. Got it in a tree crotch and it got stuck. There are going to be some situations where we got to let that ball fall back down. And in most situations, we can simply take off the screw link. But there's going to be some situations where that's not enough. And so there's some judgment involved. If you try to pull this back, there's a chance it can get caught. Depends on the tree, if it's a shaggy bark tree. But the nice option here is I can always take it off completely and I can pull that through. All right, folks, happy throwballing.